Before we begin this announcement, F Plus Live 4 is confirmed. Sunday, October 4th at Grumpy's Bar in downtown Minneapolis. Details on the website. And now, a fucking watch fetish?
I take time.
TikTok listeners, this is the F Plus Podcast, a timely place with terrible things, read with enthusiasm. In the room tonight, we have Victor Laszlo.
I love wearing my girlfriend's watches as a cock ring.
Kumquats up!
It's hard to believe such a calamity. I've got too much time on my hands.
He reads the internet for you at LouReads.com. This is Lou Fernandez.
The month isn't over yet, and it's never too late to send your goddess an amazing birthday gift. All gifts received will receive a photo and thank you note in return. I do not accept tributes or gifts, though.
And Lemon. I don't want to brag, but we had sex 3 or 4 times. I liked it when she was on top, but I really liked it when I could see her watch. F Plus.
Hello.
Hey.
So Lou, kumquats up. Victor, would you say that your sexuality is in a place that you want it to be?
No.
No.
I want it. I'm
Probably
always
not.
evolving.
Okay. What would you like to change about your sexuality, Lou?
I don't know. I feel like I wish that sometimes things just ran in a more organized fashion.
That makes sense. You want your sexuality to be like clockwork. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, maybe
Great.
every once in a while a little bird could come out and tell me what time it was.
So this is an episode we have teased a couple times, and it's an episode that Amit gave us a little while back, and this episode is called A Fucking Watch Fetish? I've definitely skimmed this document. I'm super confused by this document, and I'm not, at this stage in the episode, I'm not going to be able to offer you answers about what a fucking watch fetish is. I just know that people have boners for watches. So we're all going to learn together, and that's an exciting thing. So let's start off here. With a post. So we're going to be spending, I believe, all of our time. Let me just double check. Oh, no. We're going to go to Clips for Sale eventually, so that'll be awful. Yeah. But before we go to Clips for Sale, we're going to be spending our time on watchgirlsforum.net. And I think this site's British. Victor, started off here with Zerta. Will you please?
Zerta.
Hello.
Hello. I am
Hello.
new on the forum. Both my English is not so good.
Okay.
Today I asked about the watch of my old school teacher, and I asked if I can borrow it to make a school project about it, and guess what happened?
What happened? What happened? Zerta? Zerta, what happened? That's the end of your post?
Yeah.
Is this a choose your own adventure?
That's
Terrific. All right,
Yeah.
kumquats up. You are Evo... What is it? Evo 8? Evo VIII. So that's
Yes.
Evo 8. Yes.
I also get aroused by Mitsubishis.
Sure.
who doesn't?
I've borrowed a number of watches in my time. Never thought of that approach. I had more than a few teachers on my way up that I would have loved to get the watch off their wrist. One time I did, and it was her idea to give it to me.
It was... Okay. Sure, I believe you. Yep.
Her wrist was so small that I had no chance in wearing it.
That's just bragging.
Back in my early days, I remember in my day...
It was a lot of days.
Yeah. of 6 classes, I had 2 sets of 2 teachers that wore the same watch.
Wow. Now, by the same watch, you mean literally the same watch. Like
The
they would
same
like
time.
hand it off like a relay
No,
race.
one-
The
yeah,
same time.
probably.
Oh, that's fucking sexy.
2 had the same gold bracelet. And 2 had the same black strap Timex.
Okay, sure. That sounds great.
There were fewer watches to go around then.
It was a simpler time.
In the Great Watch Depression.
The war was hell on all of us.
Watch rationing.
And having 2 girls wearing the same watch was rather common.
Gosh, I believe
One of the black strap Timex teachers,
she was sponsored.
who was rather easy to look at, BTW.
So she took a physical form. She existed on this plane of existence.
She was in front of me.
She was easy to see.
Also had an identical twin sister that used to come by every so often and also wore that watch.
Okay, I no longer believe you. Oh, hey, Jenny.
Perhaps it's then that it occurred to me about getting 2 women with the same watch.
Okay, and then
to
what?
switch watches so that only I know that
What?
they're wearing each other's watches.
Oh my god.
Is this an X-Files?
I am
What?
so
Well, this will
aroused
be
right
this will be a
now.
later season X-Files, right?
Yeah, this is... Mulder's not there right now.
The 2 Timex teachers were coincidence. The 2 gold bracelet watch teachers knew each other. They were married to cousins. So we had 2 Mrs. Smiths.
Well, sure. I mean, that's not... I mean, you could have had 2 Mrs. Smiths in many ways, but sure.
It was a popular joke that they were married to each other.
I can see why.
I
It's
can
hilarious.
remember some classes I liked because I got to sit and stare at a pretty teacher and a pretty watch.
Wow, you have a sexuality that has been disturbingly sublimated. I wonder if you're as confused as I am of how you got here. Lou, take Nick's, please.
My high school stories. I remember back in high school, a few girls used to wear swatch. One of them had this amazing pop swatch, which I used to love seeing her wear. During the time of exams, I approached her once and I asked if I could borrow her watch so I could go check what time my exam was and see how long I had left before it started. At first, she didn't hesitate and she started sliding it off her wrist. Then she stopped. I told her I'd be really quick and we'll bring it back within 10 minutes as the exam timetables were in a different part of the school. She was hesitant, but agreed. Once she gave it to me in my hand, my heart started pounding so fast. I ran as
Just so you know, this will get sticky when you get it back. I don't know why.
fast as I could to the other side of school and went into one of the toilets, making sure no one was in there.
What?
I locked the cubicle and had the time of my life. Ha 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 ha.
It's clever. I see what you did there.
What?
I cleaned it up properly before I gave it back. She didn't notice the thing.
I doubt that.
Then I cheekily asked her if I could borrow it again tomorrow. Would that be okay? She said, yep, no problem if she wasn't using it. Happy days. Since this worked pretty well, I knew that one of my female teachers for our German class also wore a pop swatch. So I tried the same with her by asking to borrow it for a couple of minutes to go check the time for something. This time I wasn't lucky, as she said no, I couldn't, and made me ask another student.
Oh man, when you said you weren't lucky, I was imagining the other ways that could have gone wrong.
She stabbed me. No. In my final year of high school, there was this girl in our science class who had a new swatch that she kept playing with. Our female teacher for that class was getting annoyed and told the girl to give her the watch and she can have it back after class because she wasn't paying attention. This got me really going, and at that point, I couldn't wait until the class was over. Somehow, the girl completely forgot about asking for the watch back when class finished and just walked out of the classroom. I purposely took my time packing my bag to see what the teacher would do, but she didn't say or do anything. I was the last person to leave the classroom, and the teacher just sat at her desk. Brackets, she was pretty too. Brunette. My friends were bugging me, telling me to hurry up, so I left with them and walked up the corridor. We got to the stairs. As we got to the stairs, I said that I had forgotten something, so I told them to carry on and I'll see you outside the next classroom. So I ran back towards the classroom.
I said goodbye to my many, many friends who like me very much, and I don't ostracize at all.
In reality, I said I'll see you later, guys, to the people who normally ignore me and kept doing so.
Shut up, Bucket.
So I ran back towards the classroom, and the door was half open. Brackets, you could see the teacher and her desk. What happened next made me go completely crazy all over. The teacher...
Well, I don't know, but yeah.
The teacher had taken out the swatch from her desk and was putting it on her wrist. She wore it slightly loose, and she was turning it around her wrist, looking at the design on the strap and on the face of the watch. I swear, I couldn't even breathe properly at that point. I walked in the classroom, the teacher looked at me, and I said, sorry, I thought I'd forgotten something. She asked me what, and I said one of my favorite pens. She got up and came over where I was, kneeled down and started looking around too. She had her hand on top of the chair to support herself, and I couldn't take my eyes off that swatch on her wrist. It just looked so fucking amazing on her.
She's got wrists! Matter of fact, 2 of them!
She said she couldn't see it and told me maybe it was somewhere in my bag and I hadn't looked properly. I then plucked up my courage, brackets with my heart beating as fast as a motherfucker, that I don't remember her wearing that watch before in class. She said, it belongs to one of the girls in the class. She kept playing with it, so I told her to give it to me, and she can have it back after class. I said, she hasn't come to take it back? The teacher said no. I asked if she would like me to give it back, as I might see her in the next class. She said no.
Untrustworthy.
And she's only wearing it so it doesn't get forgotten in the drawer in the desk. I asked if she liked it since she was wearing it. She said it was too colorful for her liking and not really the type she would buy herself. Brackets, she was pushing it against her hand and turning it around and round on her wrist as she was talking to me and looking at it. I was going nuts. Unfortunately, the girls whose swatch it was came in at that moment and said sorry she had forgotten to ask for it back. The teacher took it off and said she only put it on as she didn't want to forget it in the desk drawer. Then the girl said it was okay and took it and left the room. Brackets, I don't know which direction she went.
Oh, no!
So shortly I left the
What a
classroom
letdown.
as well, with my heart pounding and ready to blow. Do you want me to keep reading?
What?
These stories are long.
What?
His heart was
What?
ready to blow, right?
I mean, so the girl left the watch in the room, and then the teacher was like, I'll just wear this watch. I don't like this watch. And then Drew comes in and he's like, that's the best watch. Like, just so much of this, just like, there's nothing about this makes sense.
Oh, I'm sorry if you don't get it, but it's very plainly obvious to me.
Oh, okay. Boy, there's so many more stories. Nick's especially has a whole bunch more stories.
Nix has a lot of...
He really likes swatches.
Can you just briefly, Lou, can you take, there's a part there in the next paragraph where he says, that whole night I couldn't sleep?
That whole night I couldn't sleep. The next day I was so eager to get to school and couldn't wait for lunchtime. As soon as it came, I ran to the library and just waited. After 25 agonizing minutes, she came in, but fucking hell also with some of her friends as well. This one, D-I-C-K head, W-A anchor, who was with her,
It's one of my favorite poets.
came up to me and asked if I was the one who wanted to buy some watches. I was like, what the fuck? So I had to say no, it probably was someone else, and I got up and walked somewhere else. I hanged around the library for her friends to leave, but they all ended up leaving together, and I was really gutted. Completely screwed up my entire day after that. I saw her a few times around school again, but she was always with her big group of friends. Oh, well.
Oh, well. So hey guys, my name is It's Not Weird. This forum, by the way, is moderated by Spike's Dudley Dog, Watchmaster, and Popswatch. But anyway, I'm It's Not Weird. I'm a power poster, which means that I've posted a whole 91 times. So, go me. Hey, y'all. I wanted to put some pen to paper, so to speak, about my watch fetish, having stumbled across this great forum. Nobody here knows me, so please don't judge me as you read on. That would be a real pot kettle situation, would it? It's amazing to meet some like-minded individuals because, seriously, I was beginning to think that there was something wrong with me, that I had fetish involving women's watches, period, that the watch a woman was wearing on some occasions turned me on more than the women themselves. People have asked me in the past, am I a bum or leg man? That was in quotes. I could never say that the first thing I look at in a woman is what... I was asking if I'm a bum or a leg man. I can never say that the first thing I look at in a woman is what kind of watch she's wearing. Until now!
That Seiko goes all the way up.
I've spent years living with the secret fetish, and amongst other things, I am constantly spending many an hour trawling the net, looking for clips involving watches. I even have many excellent clips of watches in more specialist fields of the XXX world. Bear in mind, it's not weird. So I talk about my job, and that's gross. But you probably want to know my favorite watch of all time is. It's the Gucci 1500L, followed closely by the 1900L and the 3900L models.
I'm judging you now before you read on.
Hey, man, different strokes.
That's really an ugly watch.
I am also partial to the Cartier ranges, in particular the Santos. Both designer watches are so sexy and feminine in every way. My previous girlfriend from Thailand.
You wouldn't know her.
Besides having a penis, she also had
a number of fake Cartier watches. Wait, why is fake in quotes? All right. Fake Cartiers bought for her by myself, completely unaware of their additional appeal to me. Yeah, no, she wasn't.
I think it says fake in quotes because Fartier doesn't have the same ring.
So, my fetish has developed on from the usual woman-wearing watch aspect we all like here, ellipsis. I often masturbate whilst thinking about women wearing watches, but I also enjoy masturbation whilst wearing women's watches myself. So I'm a switch hitter. I don't wear watches in the normal world and feel strange when I do, but I do own nearly 50 female models for my own enjoyment behind closed doors, with a large collection of Gucci models bought from eBay. I even have duplicates of some types. Other brands include blah, 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 blah. Well, I guess, the watch fetishists want to know. So Lacoste, DKNY, Loris, Timex, and some copies, in quotes, and various other ones that just took my fancy. I've never known where my fetish stemmed from. Damn it. We'll never know. But perhaps, as my youth wasn't exactly full of female companionship, it made me think that it was the hand of some sexy girl wanking me off, and not my own. Strange, but it works, and it has stuck with me for years. I'm curious if others here do the same? So that's my story, and thanks so much for listening. But there's other stories.
So does he just put the watch on so tight that he can't feel his hand?
Yeah. I think he just cuts off the circulation to give him
the strange gray hand.
And then Kumquatxop, you are fingers 560 in this thread here.
Of course I am.
That's a tough move to pull off.
Well, you've just described me in your first post, so I think it's all okay. I, too, own
Are you my
loads
girlfriend from Thailand?
of women's watches that I use for my own pleasure, so to speak, but never wear a watch in the outside world. I've just got a 1500 L2.
Oh, I want to fuck you! I want to fuck your wrist!
My oddity. It's not weird.
Yeah, you're
My
one oddity.
oddity is that the watch has to be worn on the right wrist.
What?
Does nothing for me on the left. Welcome and enjoy.
Now, does my handedness matter? Like, if I'm left-handed and then I wear the 1500L on my left wrist, is that okay?
That sucks.
Or okay, that still sucks.
Yeah.
I think he meant to say I have made lots of loads on women's watches. Ugh.
And Victor, your love watches?
Great post, and lots of what you say is similar for me in terms of the watch catching my eye before the women.
Mm-hmm.
I am in a long-term relationship
With Mother.
and have finally got my missus another watch. She likes a purple Guess steel watch. Will pop a pickup soon. This is to add to her Gucci twirl she has. I like to wear the watch as a cock ring when I have sex or masturbate, and also love holding her wrist during sex when she wears one or just gazing at it. This has been with me since I was about 14, I think, and it's just
What?
as strong now at 38. Old git. I also love the feel of the watch on my balls and cock, and have on one occasion had a small Oasis watch inside me during sex. Now that was incredible.
What?
Anyway, like you say, we're not weird, just very different.
A watch? A watch inside you?
Uh,
What?
yeah, the
Yeah.
Gucci Candiru.
I find I find the idea of being like, oh, give me your watch. I'm gonna put it on my dick. Let's fuck. And then being like, here's your watch back later. Here's your watch back now that it's covered in our filthy juices.
Hey, do you want to watch?
Now, what do you mean? What do you mean by watch?
I can't imagine that there's anything even the slightest bit pleasant at having a watch up your ass. Like, I just...
Oh my God, these people all probably got really turned on by Pulp Fiction.
Victor, that's only conjecture at this point.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know where
like-
inside him the watch was.
Yeah, maybe he has like
no, I'm saying
appendix
you're
hole or
saying
something.
you're saying you assume that it's not great to have a watch up your eyes.
I do.
But I think
do
that you need
indeed.
to have a little bit more empirical zeal. It might be great. Who knows?
might
You don't
be.
know.
I wonder if it matters what kind of watch.
It was
when
this
you-
guy.
yeah.
It's not weird saying I often grab my GF's wrist during sex. The feel of the copy Cartier whilst looking at it sent me over the edge. Of course, I'd have a cheeky look at the watch too. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. It also helps distract from her penis.
I mean, when he grabs her wrist during sex, she must scream back, "I told you never to touch
Stop trying
me!"
to steal my watch. GI, give me $20.
Oh no. So Lou, your name is Squirrel, SQRRL.
In this same thread?
No, I'm sorry. This is a new thread which is called Watches and Master. Well, smiley face.
Wait, where's the link to this? Oh, down here.
Yep.
All right. Hey, guys. Though we're all in the same boat, our likings and habits seem to differ. I've noticed there are two main groups.
Okay, great.
Those who use watches for naughty things in private, and those who don't.
Yeah, that's a pretty good breakdown of the groups.
You can pretty much
I'm very
divide up the
observant.
entire world into those two categories.
Thank you so much for really explaining this fetish.
I have a laser focus. So far, I'm not that sure which side I belong to. The pure...
Well, do you masturbate with the watch around your
I'll
neck?
explain. The
Okay.
pure watches do not do that much for me. It's rather knowing that it has been worn that is the trigger. Therefore, I am not that
Oh.
interested in going to watch stores. Watches work best for me when I see them worn by a lady with nice hands and arms. New watches are nice, but, well, off the record, I would lie if I said that I had never borrowed my GF's watch.
Okay, I know which category you're in now.
So, my questions, doing naughty things with watches? If so, how often? Ever bought a used watch? Just for that poor puss? Ever used another person's watch for it without her knowing about it? Other than your wife's, etc. Very
like
interested.
a stranger's?
Yeah. Like that kid who took it to the bathroom
Yeah.
and did something to it. Very interested in honest answers. Let's have a serious conversation among adults to discover similarities and differences.
Great. Yeah, let's talk. Oh my God, let's talk about watches, baby. Let's talk about you and me. So my name is, so now I get to be Evo8, and I like looking at ladies' watches, and I also like to wear. Wearing men's watches doesn't do anything for me. I like ladies' watches, mid-size on down to the small. For me, it's the experience on what the lady gets, semicolon, to feel the watch as close as possible to what she does. With different ladies come different watches, and in this day and age, I prefer leather straps. Why this day and age? Oh, because I'm against plastic, maybe. But there are plenty of steel and gold watches out there. I own over 100 watches. Most are copies of ones that I haven't seen out in the wild. My wife knows about my interest, even if she doesn't understand it at all, and participates, particularly in bed. Does that mean that she doesn't participate in bed, or she does understand and participate in
I
bed?
think she only participates in bed.
Oh,
Which-
okay. So a freak in the sheets and nothing else.
Right.
She lets him wear a watch as a cock ring.
She doesn't
She
wear a
does.
rock.
No.
Oh, she does. Okay, cool. Oh, well then
She's also a Thai prostitute.
She knows it.
right.
She
A lot of Thai prostitutes on
she
this
knows it's over quicker if she does that.
I've spent time in her watches, too. Ugh. On a rare occasion, I will wear in public, if I can get away with it, long sleeves, etc. On a few instances, I got to wear a woman's watch in her presence, where it was offered to me to do so, be her. Man, just this forum is just so bad at writing. Sometimes I feel a little self-conscious about my knowledge of and handling of straps and clasps of ladies' watches. Though, when I get a chance to experience a watch, I like on the outside comes up. Fuck! I don't let it go by if I can help it. Over the years, I've counted on my fingers and toes at least 24 encounters with other women's watches, dating well before the misses, and I've made up this cheesy system to classify them. All right, you ready? This is going to be my new stand-up routine. Okay. So here we go. All right. This is going to... Really, the comedy to this is that it's accessible. You know, it's something that we've all been through. So... Close encounter of the first kind. Handling. You get the watch off her wrist and get to hold and examine it.
Okay, so that's first base. Okay.
Right, okay, so close encounter of the second kind. Wearing. You have the watch and get to try it on. Close encounter of the third kind. Experience. You get to take it home and indulge yourself. And close encounter of the fourth kind. Ownership. Through course of action, the watch becomes yours.
Is this the original plot of the Spielberg screenplay?
I like how jacking off on the watch comes before stealing it.
We have to experience it.
Well, you got to know if it's stealable or not.
Right.
I
If-
mean,
if it's worth,
it's like
if it's worth stealing.
Yeah. I mean, really, like when I go to the comic book shop to do shoplifting, like I only steal the ones that felt good to come on.
Sure. Wait, are you talking about vinyl figurines?
Well, mostly Punisher. I just love,
Sure.
just love
You'd be
jerking off
like,
on that skull.
You've been punished.
And then some more creepy. But we don't need to focus too much on me because here comes Maine Mike. And that's Maine as in the state, Mike. And Kumquat's up, if you'll take that, please.
I once gave the advice on how you can wear a couple in public. Wear them on the inside and most people will never see it.
Okay.
If they do, then you can always say you are taking one to get a new battery.
All right, I want you to look into that camera and say, "Watch, bros."
So, wait.
Look, if I ever catch
Yep.
anybody wearing two
Yep.
watches, I want to know what the fuck is up.
But they're wearing them on the inside. How do you catch them?
Well, it's like the thing with my guy, like where he was talking about like oh, you know, like if I've got the sleeve to cover it up, I'll nervously go out in public wearing a women's watch, like as though anyone in the world would give a fuck.
Maybe he's just really scared of being judged by other watch fetishists.
1400X? Blech.
And didn't want to put it in your pocket where it could be scratched pretty bad. If you are like me, I have keys and coins and more in my pants pockets. No place for a watch.
My asshole, on the other hand, has none of those things in it.
Maybe he means the inside like prison. I agree, seeing a woman wearing two is a special turn on. Not sure what it is, but when my GF wears two, it does look cool. Too bad she just isn't really onto it on her own.
That is too bad. I wonder if you'll ever find. I wonder if any of these people will ever find somebody.
Some of them have said they're married.
Hey, Evo 8, what's the most you've ever worn?
Oh, man. Well, the most I've ever worn is probably 5 or 6 on a wrist. That's about all I can fit. Usually I do 2 to 3 going for quality over quantity, unlike you. Gold bracelet watches, Pulsar, Psycho, Citizen. They were popular in decades past. A series of other watches. I like a pair of red-strapped Minnie Mouse, quote, identical twin sisters, one of which is my wife's. I have a number of metal watches, and even some digitals and Timex wind-ups from years ago. Generally, I go for the smaller watches. Wearing men's things doesn't do anything for me. I see that my interests seem to be a minority around here. Okay, so have we learned anything yet? Like, have we pinned this down a little bit yet?
Yeah, I've learned something.
What have you learned?
I mean, love isn't always on time.
Oh, boy. Did we want to read this Red Ranger one?
Oh, God.
Oh.
Well, let me recover from that reference. And then, I don't know, Lou, you feel like taking Red Ranger
Sure.
there? All right.
Kake!
No, never mind. No, never
Are
mind.
you sure? You don't want to hear about
No,
what?
I read that.
You want to hear when I
Nope.
was 5 and wore my dad's
No.
watch and got a hard on?
No. It was like the first sentence was like, when I was 5, my dad. Nope. Skip. Okay. So this is a thread about asking about a girl's watch. And Victor, if you'll be stumb there.
Stumb. There has been numerous times where I sew a girl with a watch that I liked, but most of the time I either freeze or in some way is stop of asking the girl about her watch. I usually spot the watch faster than I spot how the girl looks like, and even if it is a big watch, then I can spot it on the girl's wrist if she wears a tight jacket.
Okay.
For example, I can meet a girl in a shop.
Me too.
I can get myself in a position where I have an excellent view of the watch, but if I have an idea of asking her about it, or ask her something which relates to the watch, then I freeze totally. Do any of you have a tactical approach on how to ask a girl who have spotted with a nice watch? Is there some way to overcome the freezing point? Does any one of you have any experience of snapshots like this one? I'm not the one who took the picture.
So you have no problem talking to girls unless the conversation of watches come up. Mm-hmm. In which case... Okay. Kumquat, stop. Take Devin, please, there. Devin thinks that watch is so hot.
Is so hot.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder she is looking from some ice cream to cool down, lol.
Yeah, that's some misuse of lol, all right.
Most girls like compliments or questions about their clothes, especially if they're interested in fashion, which you can probably see from the way that they're dressed if the choice of clothes is deliberate or just casual.
Okay. Some women put clothes on purpose. Some just sort of accidentally fall into them.
Just ask away is my advice. This is not a well-known fetish, so I don't think the girls would believe you to have ulterior motives or suspecting that you're asking about it because it turns you on.
That's a fair point, actually.
Yes, the last thing they would think.
Asking about their shoes/boots, a more well-known fetish, might be a little more risky in that sense. But watches should be fine.
So Devin there is from Sweden. Then the next post is from Watch Lover, and he's from Switzerland. Like, do you think he's actually from Switzerland, or is that like him weaving his fantasy tale?
Yeah.
If only.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it's too good. Okay. So on that same thread there, Lou, if you'll take Fingers 560, please.
I went to a local cash converters yesterday. That's like a second-hand / pawn shop back in England. I've been served by this woman several times before and always noticed her watch. A very shiny affair on the right. That's why I noticed. She's always had a very tidy, well-painted nails, too. I laid my goods on the counter and she rung them up into the till. I commented about her nails, told her they were different.
Okay.
She said, thanks, and smiled. Said she changed he style every month, so they'll be different next time I come in. I then thought about this thread and said, nice watch, too. She looked at it, maybe a bit too long, and smiled again. I was a bit hard by now. Yeah. I said, what make is it? She grinned, and she said, G&G. I paid for my stuff, less than what it should have been for some reason, and left the shop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, watch fetish discount.
So
little known.
I ended up in a local brothel, shagging some random stranger dreaming of the lass in the shop. I did get the hooker to wear a watch on her right wrist to please me. But what an effort that was.
Oh, my God.
You can't even talk a hooker into wearing a watch?
Hey, just wear this watch. That's another 10 pounds, kid. Just put the watch on. I fancy a shag.
No kissing and watch play is going to be $100 extra.
What?
It puts the watch on its skin.
Hey, Kumquat's up.
Yeah?
You just found a thread there, and you wanted to list some of the things that you enjoyed watching women. Like, what are things you enjoy in your women? Squirrel.
Well, I mean, I guess we all enjoy videos showing women wearing watches.
Well, of course,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, a great watch can make a good video so much better.
Sure, yeah, of course.
But there are things that could ruin the whole experience for me.
Oh, like, I mean, like poor editing, or like, I mean, I hate when like you're watching pornography and it's like the angle's bad.
Yeah,
It's
like glare off the watch, like the sunlight keeps reflecting, and
oh man, that would be
getting
When you can
Yeah.
see like this
There's
sex
quite a
happening and
lot.
not just watch.
Fake fingernails,
Yeah.
piercings, too many tattoos, especially on the forearms. Any kind of jewelry other than the watch,
Ugh.
especially rings. Multiple rings on one hand, and I'm out. Pearl jewelry is okay, I guess.
Oh, well, okay, so multiple pearl jewelry. Okay.
No,
You relented pretty fast
Just
there.
one pearl.
Skinny fingers,
Oh, that's a problem.
short fat fingers.
Yeah, that's a bigger problem. Fingers!
skinny fingers.
Yeah. Short fingernails. Dirty fingernails. Dark painted fingernails.
Oh god.
Two young looking hands.
What? like CG?
Like it's like kiddie porn at that point, I guess.
The Phantom Timex. Two delicate watches.
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
Two big nipples.
Wait, nipples? What do nipples have to do with it?
Areolas, to be precise.
Why would there be nipples in your pornography in the first place?
Too much makeup. Not all of them ruin a video entirely, though. Now, here comes my question.
What's that?
Am I just extremely picky?
No.
Or is there just a certain pattern among us weirdos? Considering that we are trained to focus on details.
You're
What ruins videos for you? I'm curious about it.
you're just a man of wealth and taste.
I didn't realize there was a training.
Listen, I have this super insane, super specific fetish that like literally controls my life. And also, when somebody's trying to cater to my super specific fetish, there's a whole bunch of shit that pisses me off. But am I being too picky about this?
I think this is a full sale course.
All right, so this will be the last thread from the Watch Girls forum, and it is called What I Do With My Watches. So I'm _metal_freak. So now I think I need to publish this time, like, not particularly pleased or displeased face, just blank expression face. I have 6 watches that I do different things, the same smiley face. I own 3 Polar watches and 3 no-name watches from the supermarket. The Polar watches are one Polar F6F black, one Polar FT40F white, and the Polar FT1, of course. Now, what I do with them, obviously slightly less interesting, but it's just an amazing feeling to wear the watch or watches to the penis, the testicles, or both simultaneously. Part I, lace them up really tight, then that's very cool. For some, I wear 4 to 5 watches simultaneously to the penis and testicles.
Apply to the penis and testicles. Apply to the penis and testicles.
It's maybe not for everyone, but I like it. Now my smiley got happy. I think it works like a penis ring. Insofar as I put a ring around my penis.
Of course. The penis ring.
And then, what is also very cool, pull the foreskin forward and kept there. Then the bracelet from any watch under the foreskin induct and move up and down. That's what I'm partly due to the orgasm. Also very cool, just a coom on the watches.
What?
That's very,
Everything
very
about
cool.
this post is super cool.
I
I just want to know what you think and would I could try anything yet. Would I would like to try something new. Maybe combine it with the watch functions, but I do not know how. Any ideas?
Set the timer. Stopwatch. You got your stopwatch. You can see the indigo through your foreskin. There's so many great ideas.
And then, Victor, you are love watches.
I love wearing my girlfriend's watches as a cock ring and shooting over them. A Gucci twirl, I guess, a Storm and an Oasis Dree watch?
How would you shoot over the watch if it's on your cockle?
I have to admit to loving inserting them as well as an incredible feeling. But hey, that's just me. I love wearing them too as well.
Ew!
I think every fetish can be explained away with,
in that
hey,
order.
that's just me.
Interesting. Does anyone have an idea what I can do with the watches and their functions? I would like to make new games with my watches. Would also like to combine it with the watch functions. Does anyone have any idea?
I put it on. I use it as a cock ring, and then I play the snake game.
You play Nibbles?
Yes, I play nibbles.
And then, Lou, you're a Skylark there?
Well, last night I met up with a girl who posted a personal ad in the student newspaper. She was very into me, and when I asked, she said she didn't wear a watch usually, but wasn't opposed to them either. So I put my men's fossil watch on her wrist, and we talked while sharing a pitcher of beer at the lakeside. Eventually, I asked her to come with me to my apartment, where I had some wine, and she agreed. Well, we never got to the wine. I sat her on the couch and made out with her, then took it to the bedroom.
Boring.
She kept the watch on the whole evening.
Never mind.
And it was terrific. I think my favorite part was either hearing and feeling the watch on my back and neck when she wrapped her arms around me, or when I grabbed her wrist and kissed her hand, and then the watch. I actually got her to go down on me a bit too, and that was fantastic. Nothing like seeing a girl wearing your watch and handling your tool.
I like the part where he was like, so my favorite part, and I know, but my favorite part was the part where I did fucked up watch shit with her.
Also, the penis vagina part was okay.
I'm not even going to mention
But it
that
wasn't
bullshit.
even. But I guess you could just put a watch around a fleshlight and really just have yourself a time.
So once again, thank you very much to Amy for providing this document. We have a tiny bit more to do here, and we're going to be going to clips for sale, but I want to be nice to all of us, as well as myself, and not follow the clips for sale link. So let's just read those out of the document. Then we don't have to visit clips for sale, which will make our lives just so much better. Okay, so let's start off with a secretary fantasy. So this is a secretary fantasy, hypnozerosis, mind control by watches, your will becomes mine. Okay, gentlemen. So, I wear 4 very different watches, all of different styles. I hypnozerotize, / mind fuck you with those as ones. They are quite very delicate and feminine. The whole set is decorated brilliant red varnishes on my nails. Very sensual. You look at the clocks and the bracelets, and your will becomes mine. You are my marionette. You belong to me and obey my slightest orders. At first, I oblige you to look at my watches. Look at them from away, then closely. Worship them! Then smell them. They each have a very unique aroma. Finally, I oblige you to lick and clean them with your tongue. You will make an excellent work. At the end, I oblige you to masturbate and to ejaculate in my hands. I shall spread the sperm on my watches, and you will have to clean the damage. After, quite slowly, I shall return you to reality, and you will forget all which had just occurred. No recollection of this meeting will return to you. So maybe none of this shit will happen in the first place. So that's my clips for sale post. I am BDSM schoolgirl goddess.
Nice.
Lori has a request here. So Kumquatxop, would you read this request? I love her yellow wrist watch A.
I love her yellow wristwatch, Request. I would like to see you and your friend sleeping in the same bed, sleeping bags, or a tent. Your friend is wearing the yellow watch from the previous videos.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up first and you are really horny. You look at your friend sleeping, and you know she's wearing the watch right now.
Oh, man.
Even if it's hidden by the blankets.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable. I fell asleep with my watch on. Oh, I got the divots in my skin, and it looks all weird.
At last there is an opportunity for you to satisfy your secret passionate desire. You come close to her and you test her to see if she's sleeping hard enough.
Okay.
Hand or body shaking, speaking her name, etc. When you are sure that she's still sleeping, you begin to take off the blankets with caution.
All right.
When it's done, you take her hand with the watch,
right.
and you start to kiss it,
All right.
lick it, and rub it on your face while touching yourself.
Is this a Bill Cosby thing? Is it a deposition?
Then you begin to kiss your friend and touch her slowly not to wake her.
Why?
After some minutes of doing this, you will be so excited that you will use the watch in the hand of your friend to touch your pussy! This will make you come!
Oh, okay. That'll make you come. I would think that the rubbing the watch on your face would be the thing that would make you come.
Yeah. The video can end there when you say thank you and sweet dreams to your friend. She must not wake up, and please make good close-ups of the watch.
Okay.
I love these requests because it's like your request is completely unfilmable, and it's supposed to be filmed by people who are not actors.
Is that how that works?
Like, yeah, like the clips for sale thing. Like, these people will make a request for these Romanian prostitutes to perform for them.
Oh,
Right. So that's what you want to see there. Is you want to watch somebody make the scene and then you'll pay for it. You're setting a bounty.
Oh, and so this was never fulfilled?
It looks like it was never fulfilled.
Oh,
Clipsforsale.com, where dreams go to die.
Where very stupid dreams go to die.
Oh my God.
So I'm reading the next one.
Yeah, please.
Okay. This one is entitled, Watch on My Pussy 2B. Request. You feel very horny. You look at the swatch, and you see how sexy it looks on your hand. Close-up of the hand and watched whilst holding the steering wheel. Then you start the car, and you start to rev the engine to 3 and 4. You feel even more horny, and you kiss the face of the watch. Rub it around your face, and you lick the face of the watch. Close-ups. As you are doing this, you feel even more horny, so you start to rev the engine harder to 5 and 6. Show your hand with the swatch and the rev counter.
Okay.
You then wonder what it will feel like to play with the watch on your pussy.
We're
So
going to
you-
need storyboards for this.
Yeah. So you start to rub the face of the watch between your legs up and down, pleasuring yourself with it. At the same time, you are still revving the engine because the engine sound makes you very horny. Close up of the face of the watch, touching your pussy and caressing it. Then you kiss the watch and lick it while still revving the engine hard. Then you stop and kiss the watch. Then you play with the watch on your wrist, and the video ends.
Wow. Can I just bring up that this has brought us a whole new wealth of second-person porn?
Second? What do you mean second-person porn?
Like, porn written from the second-person perspective.
That's pretty nice.
This is, yeah.
And then the very last thing here, Kumquatxop. It is a short piece, but it is a succinct piece. Sorry, I like that title. If you will please read Watch Job and Hand Job.
Watch job and hand job! First play with then have wristwatch on, then take it off and use for play with toy, watch, touch, toy, and so on. Then massage toy with watch on hand again. Saccharine skies 1280 by 720.
Oh, you have a resolution demand as well.
That's a good quality.
I mean, you know, he mentions the resolution, but like he doesn't say if it has to be 720p or 1080p. I mean, what did we learn from
Maybe that's the screen size of the watch. Maybe she's just wearing a monitor on her
That would
hand.
be great. That would be super great. What did we learn from? I'm sorry, I was at Eclipse for Sale page, and so I got distracted by
You were writing your
horrible-
own request.
You really should.
No, I specifically made it so I didn't have to click on those links, and then I was like, I wonder what's happening on this link. Oh God, animated gifs that make me depressed.
Yep.
So F+, what did we learn from any of this?
I'll tell you what I learned.
Yeah, what's that?
So this is the only forum we've had. I mean, how many years has it been of F+
6 years.
stuff? Yeah. So in 6 years, the Watch Girls, whatever this forum was,
Yep.
is the only forum I've ever searched for Harry Potter and had 0 results.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow.
That's because that could have had
Yeah.
fun twist. There could have been like magical watches.
Yeah. But
Harry, it's 4:30.
Don't they have sundial watches?
yeah, or like the thing in like the third book where like she gets the thing that can stop time. Like they all would have come at once.
Oh, that would have been.
It's all
Yeah.
about the wrist.
But no, they're just very focused. There were very little crossover. Like there were very few crossover watch fetish with other fetish posts. Everyone was just really concerned about the watches.
Yeah, less so than so many of these other like super like one thing that's actually amazing if you think about it is we read an entire episode on a fucking watch fetish, and at no point did somebody say, "Hey guys, feet, right? Hey, feet. What about feet?"
There were also no furries with watches.
That's
And
true. That's true.
No,
no juggalos
I wanna-
with watches. Yeah.
at least we
Everybody
didn't.
was-
We weren't given any ones that were like, I want to fuck my daughter's watch. Nope. Did we find any incest ones?
I think those might have been skipped.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't we
But
read
a
them?
lot
I
of
don't
them are
understand what's going
still
on.
like.
Yeah.
A lot of them are still like they don't really want the woman or the person wearing the watch. Like that's secondary to the process.
Pocket watches are not
It's
mentioned
not like
either.
a girl in a watch is so hot. It's like the watch is so hot, and I guess there's a girl wearing it.
It's because it's not just the watch itself. It seems like it's the watch and that like sort of like just wrist area around the watch. Because like the watch itself doesn't seem to be enough. It seems to have to like be worn, but they definitely have like tunnel vision like to specifically that area, and none of them seem to have a fucking clue what's going on with it. Like even like their own post, they're like, I have no idea. I don't know why this is happening. And the one thing that I would say like to them and to the people, because we have listeners from what with whatever predilections they have, as do you, Lou. We have listeners from whatever predilection they have, and that's fine. And that's great or whatever, but don't steal people's shit and jerk off on it. Like, whatever sort of like, hey, I'm weird, I experienced this thing, that's fine. Until such point as you steal somebody's thing and jerk off
what if
on
you
it. It happens so frequently.
What if you're just borrowing it?
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. Definitely don't borrow it and jerk off on it.
But some of these people are just like, they're not going to miss it. Can I borrow your watch for a minute? I have to go to the bathroom and jerk off on it. I guess if you were honest about it, it'd be better.
But just keep it at that point. Throw it away. I'm sorry, I lost your watch.
That's a better.
I lost it in a pool of cum.
There was.
You want to dig up my ass? You might be able to find it.
There was just so much cum that the watch just washed away. I don't know.
The website is always thefpl.us, your source for F Plus related news, including news about our new sticker designs. One of the things I've been doing is limited runs of different sticker designs from different illustrators, printed in small batches. So when the previous small batch starts to run low, I print up the next design, and so on. It's been fun to do, and I'll continue to do them as long as people continue to buy them. So, play your part.
Yes.
Okay, try to enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Don't mind. It's a waste of time. Don't need anymore. Time needs to wait. Between those words you and me. Time needs to wait. You and me.
That girl is poison.
Poison!
Do 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 do.
Poison!
Do.
Poison!
She's driving me out of my mind.
Wow.
Come on, those guys knew what they were talking about.
What were they talking about?
You never trust a big butt and a smile.
Never, ever, ever.
Never.